This Tesla is charging right now and it isn't costing me a cent. Not because power is free, but because I'm sending excess solar power that my house isn't using directly into my car. So as we can see at the moment, the car is currently plugged in and charging, and WattSnatch is actively diverting excess solar power away from the grid and directly into the car. We can also see this happening on the main display as well. We can see that the car is actively moving the charge rate between 19 and 20 amps to match excess solar. So let me give you a demo on how WattSnatch works. You can see at the moment that we're producing approximately 4.5 to 5 kilowatts of power. It's a pretty cloudy day here in Brisbane, so we've had quite a fluctuation of power throughout the day. So you can see that WattSnatch is dynamically adjusting the car's charging rate. It will do so every 10 seconds, so we're not absolutely hammering that fleet API. But you can see it's dynamically adjusting that charge rate over here, this charge rate and the power, and you can also see over here as well, to match whatever is not being used by the house and sending it into the car. It will also hold the minimum charge rate for 3 minutes if the amount of solar coming in drops below the minimum charge rate or below the amount that the house is not using and we can't charge anymore. So for example, you can see right now, the amount of power being produced by the panels is 1.5 to 1.7 kilowatts. The house is using 400 watts. That's below the minimum charge rate. So we're actually pulling 183 watts from the grid, and WattSnatch has decided to hold this charge rate at the minimum for 3 minutes before stopping the charge completely. The reason we do this is to prevent wear and tear on the connectors. What else do we have on WattSnatch? We have solar forecast. We can have this updated every day as well. We've got an AI energy briefing. We have upcoming trips. This is a really cool feature, which I'm very passionate about. This will look at your calendar events, and if you have an address in your calendar, it will get the distance between your home and that event, and it will work out how many kilometers that you will need to drive each way. And it won't do this line of sight. It will specifically do this by driving distance. Why is this important? Because if you're doing line of sight, some of these estimates can be a lot lower than they should be. As you can see, it's estimated that for this specific event on Monday, it will be 10 kilometers each way, so a 20 kilometer return, and we will need a minimum of 23% in the car to be able to depart and do this trip. It will also tell us how much power that we'll use, factoring in Sentry mode as well. A little bit further down, because we have an Enphase micro inverter system here, we can see individual panel health as well, which is a pretty cool feature. Some really cool data that we have built into WattSnatch. In the settings, you're able to configure your daily supply charge and the amount that you pay per kilowatt hour for your power. We're able to work out how much grid usage you will have, and also how much you'll pay on your daily supply charge, and then how much you've actually spent. The cool thing is though, being able to see how much you've saved, specifically by using your own solar energy from your roof. We can split this down by EV, hot water, and house. If you don't have hot water, that's cool, you don't have to do that. We've also got integration with TeslaMate as well. We can match up our solar charging sessions with actual drives that we have done in our car. And so why is that important? Because we can see how many kilometers we've driven on sunshine and driven on the grid, and then public charges as well. Heaps of data in here though. Definitely encourage you to download and have a play around with it. We can also see our drives directly in WattSnatch as well, pulled directly from your TeslaMate database. Why is this cool? Because it will show you the percentage of those drives you've done on solar versus grid. You can pass your electricity bill once you've received it, and WattSnatch will tell you how much you have saved versus what it would have cost you without using WattSnatch. Another nice to have feature is a retailer comparison. A really important thing I wanted to include in WattSnatch was to be able to track how much money we are spending on our fleet API. We get $16 for free in Australia. I believe that's approximately $10 to $12 in the US. So we want to make sure that we are sticking within that budget. So you can see at the moment with the amount of charging and the amount of clouds that we've had here in Brisbane at the moment, we're projected to blow that budget and be at about $23.17 for the month. There is good news though. If you do think you are going to blow the budget, there is a secondary way you can charge instead of using the fleet API. You can also use Bluetooth to send your charge commands as well. You would need to come in here and change it to Bluetooth LE proxy, and then enter your proxy URL. Some information here on how to set it up as well. So you might then ask, well, how do I run this? From the start, WattSnatch has always been a privacy first app. I didn't want my data on somebody else's cloud system. So why release it at all? Well, originally I never intended to. I had built WattSnatch to work directly for my own personal smart home. But when I saw that many people would be displaced from Charge HQ switching off their servers in September, I decided I really wanted to provide an alternative solution which wasn't going to cost everyone a huge amount of money to use. And the great news is because it's all self-hosted, there's no extra subscriptions and you're in control of your own data. This all started with one simple question: why am I exporting my perfectly good solar energy only to buy back later? Trying to answer that question is what WattSnatch has become. If you've ever looked at your power going back to the grid and thought, there has to be a better way for me to utilize this, then I hope WattSnatch helps you. I've linked everything you need to get started below in the description. You can download it for free on GitHub, and all of our documentation is available via our website. Thanks for watching.